to our timeline as close to it as possible. Pippa, did you do your homework? It needs to be out and open. I needed to see it. You weren't here. So some people said question 10. They just wanted to go through quickly. We're going to do compound interest today. We're mixing it up. So if we're reading this, as soon as we see flat rate, we know we're dealing with simple interest, right? And it's asking us to find the rate. So that means we've got our formula down, which is I times 100 over PT. Ben, you'll catch up soon. Ben, Macy, Ben. All right, a student wants to buy a car costing $7,500. We should have all of our information here, and you just need to fill it out. So let's have a look. Can you help us out? What are we going to put? We can see 15 months. What's that clearly? Good. You don't put 15. We put 15 over 12. Why is that? Because time has to be in years. You went here. Has to be in years. Okay. So what's left? The interest and the principal. She has already saved $6,000 and deposits this in an account. And she wants to buy the car for $7,500. So you've got to work out what is the original amount that she's going to invest. What's that? What's the original amount that she's going to invest? The $6,000. The $7,500 is the what? Right. So remember, I is the interest that you have earned. Why are you so late? Right. We will have a chat. Right. Interest is what we have earned. So it's the difference between these two. So it's $1,500. Okay? Because you've put $6,000 into the bank, but after a certain amount of time, in fact 15 months, it's now become $7,500. So the difference is the interest that you've earned. Yeah? So that would be your mistake, or the tricky bit. We pop it into the formula and away we go. Does that make sense? Is that okay, Ames? Was that your question? Amy? All right. All right. So this is all on Daymap, okay? Well, actually, it's on the Teams, OneNote. So when you're away, you've got to check. Did you do your homework, Luke? Oh, can you see it? Can I see it, please? Can I see it, please? Right, with your formulas, can you add this formula to your page and we will discuss it? Compound interest, that is the bit where you earn interest on top of interest. So if you have got money, you're investing money at the end of the first year. Let's say you've invested $10,000, and we're going to keep it really simple. Let's say you've got, actually won't go 10,000, you don't have to write this down. Let's say you invest $1,000 and interest rates are 10%. I mean, God, don't write the purple bit, no. With simple interest, what would happen is at the end of year 1, you would earn $100 in interest. At the end of year 2, you would earn another $100 in interest. Guess what? At the end of year 3, you would earn $100, right? Etc. Ooh. Etc., etc., etc. That's for simple interest. With compound interest, what happens is that after year 1, you would still earn the same, $100. And you go, well, big whoop, it's the same thing. But what the bank will do with compound, it'll go, ooh, At the end of that 1 year, what have you now got in your bank? Not just $1,000, $1,100, and the bank will look at this and will give you 10% of that, which will now be $110 at the end of the second year or third year, right? You've now added on $110. So now we've got, hang on, $1,210. So how much interest will you earn after the third year? 121. So can you see that with compound interest, you are earning interest on top of interest, so you're getting more money? Yeah? Sounds good? It's awesome, isn't it? What if you are in borrowing money? Is it so good? No, because you're having to pay interest on interest. So it can be a good thing and a bad thing. Yes, Luke, coming to you. Sans.
Does it always go up every year?
Well, that's the thing. It could go up biannually. What's biannually? Bicycle, twice a year. What's quarterly? 4 times a year. Monthly? Daily. Weekly. 52. So, these things we will start developing, okay? Thank you. Yes, Sienna? That's a great question. Does it happen at the end of the year, end of the financial year? Well, it actually happens when you put your money into the bank. So I could go in tomorrow. And I could choose what type of lump sum investment I want to have, and I can choose. Is it going to be monthly? Is it going to be yearly? Whatever, and it will do it from the day that I invest it. So it's not at the end of January, at the end of February. It's from when I started my investment. Okay? Imagine if I said, how much will they earn in this situation after 10 years? You don't want to have to do all of this 10 times for 10 rows, do you? So that's why we have our formula. So your formula will work it out for you. We're also, after we've done this, we're going to switch from next lesson. We're going to get the calculator to do it all for you. But you will have questions where it says, do it using the formula and with the calculator. And just to show you, we'll go through this really slowly next lesson. But it's just, can you see how we've got PV and FV? That's why it's similar to our formula. So FV is for future value, what you have in the future. PV is your present value, what you have now. So what you invest at the beginning, okay? I, it's the interest rate. Be very careful. It's as a decimal. So if it was 5%, that means I will be 0.05. That's right. You have to divide by 100. On fire today, Luke. And N, I actually don't like how it's saying it's the number of years. It's actually the number of times it compounds, but we'll look at that a little bit later on. I have your test for you, by the way. All right, are we ready to do a question? Yes. Siennes, did you have a question? Yeah? All right. I'll be somewhat disappointed, but no. 3C2. Ben, are you impressed with my board? They're so mean to me. All right. Shh. So, as soon as we see this now, compounded, we are forgetting IPRT. It's dead to me. Right? Goodbye. Luke asked a great question. Right? Can it be more than once a year? Now, when it's annually, once a year. If it says monthly, obviously every month. But we'll get to those later on. We want to deal with this first. So, here we go. It says compound. Izzy, I'm checking that you've written this. So you've got the exercise. You've got today's date. As soon as we see compound, we write future value equals present value 1 plus I to the n. Sienna, like we did for the IPRT, we pop our information down. I'm pausing, I'm about to be quiet. And we want to fill those out. So, find, Luke, find, thank you, find the future value. So that's our question mark. What did PV stand for again? Principal present value, what we have now. So we are investing $2,000 now, so that's my $2,000, if only. I, what are we putting for the I? Not 5. 0.05, right? Because it has to be as a decimal. Is everyone happy? You just divide it by 100. So you're just going 5 divided by 100. In a moment. And N is the number of years. We're putting 3. Because, so the question was, why are we doing 5 divided by 100? Because for this formula, they have said that's how it works. If it wasn't, they would have to rewrite this as PV1 plus I over 100 all the time, and they get sick of it. So they're just saying I is the interest rate as a decimal. So you've got to follow what they've said. I don't know. So, 2,000. The less we do in class, the more you have to do for homework. Come on. Shh. I promise you, this section that we're doing is probably the most amount of algebra you're going to do, and it's not much. It's not much because then it's the calculator's going to do it all for you. So, calculator, 2,000, bracket 1 plus 0.05. Everyone know where their power button is? The little hook, yep. To the 3. 2315.231, yep, play nicely. Shh. So, your turn. I don't think we have to do every single one. The numbers are just changing. Shall we just do D? Hit D. Yes, please, write the formula each time. The formula each time, I know, it's going to take you forever. What we want to do is now get PV by itself. So how do I undo a times blah? You divide by blah. So what we're going to say, this adds to our formula. We're going to have future value upstairs, and we're going to divide it by 1 plus I to the n. So if we now look at question number 5, I'm coming. You know, I take a picture and then bang, it comes back. Good Lord. So, oh, Jack, and he's not here. Jack, this question is just for you. Jack is not well. No, he's still here. But Jack opened a term deposit account paying 4% compounded annually. So again, when it's compounded, we're thinking of our future value, present value, annually for 5 years. When his investment matures, he will receive, so that is his future value. How much did Jack invest? That means we're trying to find the PV, okay? So you will write down PV equals future value 1 plus I to the n. Oui? Good Lord, I know, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Oui. No. Stop it. Shh. So, what is my I? Excellent. 0.04. Cleo, you with us? What's our N? So what is it? Ciens?